Hey, this is Coach Chris Wilson, certified brain health trainer. If you want sharper focus, faster recall, and steady mental energy, meet NeuroThrive from Critical Nutrition Labs. It's powered by clinically studied Bacopa for memory, Alpha GPC for brain energy, and PQQ to protect and recharge your brain cells. This isn't just a brain booster, it's full spectrum support for focus, memory, and healthy aging. Visit criticalnutritionlabs.com and look for the flash sale, 20% off at the top of the page. NeuroThrive. Clarity you can feel, confidence that lasts.
We are here to be conformed to the image of Jesus Christ. That's why you're alive. You're not alive to get a bunch of nice stuff and party. Right. That's not what this world's all about. You're delusional. You're freaking psychotic if that's what you think. Yeah. You're literally living in La La Land. People in heaven are laughing at you. The same way if you came out of like the club scene.
Yeah, right.
And you look back at those pictures of you at the club and with your tongue out and you're partying and you like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, look how stupid look at what a wretch I was. Look at how lost. Okay. Well, you got the Rolls Royce, the mansion, and the freaking driving around, flying around, thinking you're something. That's worse. You're 100 times more lost than the dude at the club.
We believe that you are strong by design, and you were made in God's image to have a strong body, mind, and spirit. You're listening to the #1 strength and health authority podcast in the world. So let's get ready to unlock your potential and transform your life in today's episode.
Remember like Jim Baker?
Yeah.
And he had
Jim
like
Baker.
a huge empire.
Oh, of course.
Well, I remember when him and his wife. I remember skimming through like one of the goofy Christian channels, right, on public TV back in the day. And I remember seeing him. He had his own show. This was after his prison sentence. And he had his own little show with his wife. And I remember thinking to myself, that is pathetic. Right? I held it in disdain, contempt, right? What I admired, right? Whether, even knowing that it was whack, was the empire. That little show, for all I know, was totally legit. He may have had complete transformation in prison and came out, and now he's perfectly content doing this little show, helping a few people here and there. That's not something most high-performing entrepreneurs sign up for. I didn't sign up for it, except for I did when I gave my life to Christ. So if you're confused about what's happening right now in your life, because you still got your nice stuff, maybe the money's still there, or maybe it's slowly starting to fade. I want you to think back to the moment in time where you gave your life to Jesus Christ. That's what's happening. He's collecting his dues that you committed to him. What did we commit? We committed our life. We chose to die for him. And so when he was on the cross, all these masks, all these personas, there's the false self, the shadow self, there's another word for that. It's called sin. It's called the old man, the old nature, the flesh. It's called sin. It's actually called evil. And Christ was on the cross and just bleeding all that evil, all our sin, all our masks out, right? And so the pain that a high-performing entrepreneur is feeling as they have everything they want and it's not enough, okay, well, who am I? I mean, that's what did me in.
Right.
I could not figure out who I was outside of all this stuff. And then when I would go try a new business, it didn't work. And that's what happens. When God's about to promote you, stuff stops working, right? And you experience a taste of the cross. God applies the cross to your life, and you have to endure that for a bit as he proceeds to set you free from the most demonic world system this world has Man, I just like bit my tongue. I wonder why. That's interesting. That this world has ever seen.
Yeah.
The most insidious. Rewind 200 years. People knew right from wrong.
Oh, sure.
Good and evil were super clear.
Yeah, well, it was the founding of our country in the late 1700s, right?
Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, I know. Mid 1800s changed
Nobody
everything.
knows what. That's exactly right. Mid 1800s, the theory of evolution was produced. You know what else was produced that same year? What else was published? The first self-help development book ever by Samuel Smiles. It was called Self-Help.
And within 50 years of that, between mid 1800s and 1900s, they really started to pull God out of everything.
Well, you got Nietzsche proclaiming God is dead 5 years after that.
Yeah.
And so you've got this new world order where the previous system...
The me world order.
That's that nice. I like that. I'm stealing that. The old system of where growth and success was measured in sanctification and salvation. That's how success was measured. Rewind 200 years and back. So you're talking like 5 grandmas maybe. It's not that long.
Right.
The measure of a man was his character, was his morality. It wasn't his self, like...
How many sheep he's got?
It wasn't his self, actualization. It wasn't his, right? It was his self. It was the exact opposite. Close to self-deprecation. Right? That's even the early 1900s. If you see little video clips, you're going to see men who are like extraordinarily humble. I mean, like very humble.
Humility is such I think people are
It's a lost art.
It's a lost art. Yeah. When you see it, it's so appealing when you see it in other people, in other men, but it's a rarity.
Yeah.
And it's really rare to find somebody that has today's world a high level of success who's super humble. I feel like you're pretty humble. Well, but I'm also not super successful. No, but I was going to say this earlier. I was going to say, it's funny is because not all of us are designed the same way, right?
You define success.
Right.
Right.
But I was never driven to the point of like, achieve, more money, success, material.
That's because you were the youngest child. You ever read birth order books? The baby. It's never the baby. It's always the firstborn.
Always the firstborn?
You know every U.S. president besides one, was a firstborn?
Really?
Every star pro athlete, they're all firstborns. Yeah. Interesting, huh?
Yeah. I didn't.
Do you know why? I just realized, epiphany, possible download.
Go ahead.
Because they're freaking selfish.
Yeah. It's all about me.
Because for the first couple years of their life, they got 100% of their parents' attention. Everything revolved around them. And so how do you get out of that programming? Wow. That's a download.
Yeah.
Clip it. That's awesome.
It's certainly...
Every podcast I do, I get like one new thing.
One new nugget.
I get one new piece.
Well, it makes perfect sense to me. So it's actually a very good thing, a benefit to me that I didn't have to endure that kind of...
I believe so.
That unhealthy drive.
I believe so. Now, that being said, God is so good, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to use... I've had this, everybody's got their different types of suffering, right? But I had to have whatever type of suffering that is when you're a high performer who's got to get knocked down in order for God to do anything good with, right?
Yeah.
As soon as I said that, I knew I was going to lose my train of thought. I'm like, what are you even talking about, dude?
You had said something to me prior to us talking right now that physical fitness, your focus on your physical health, your fitness, your training, your exercise, that saved you during this dark season that you were having. Why is that?
Should I spit out this dark season so I can finally get the story out?
Please.
I still haven't, let me make it really fast. For years, I endured the pain of this vocational identity crisis, of maintaining my standard of living, although it was going down little by little. And Satan's smart. He didn't hit me all at once. He didn't just rip the rug out from under my feet because he knew that would drive me straight to Christ. That's not going to do any good. He had to pull little things at a time, over time. As I look back, it was over a decade. Satan, God's got a plan for your life. Well, Satan's got one too. And I guarantee you're not going to see it until it's too late, which is why you need community. I can spot with a lot of our guys in our community, I can spot it. I'm like, bro, what you just said is awesome, but look out for this right here, right? Make sure this doesn't, like, it was so painful for a man to not know what he's supposed to be doing. For me personally, I don't know of any greater pain. I've had 5 back surgeries. Like, what do you call it? Debilitating? What do you call it? When you're like basically, you can't, you're not functional.
Deconditioned? No. What are you talking about?
Debilitated? Unhabilitated?
Oh.
What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know. Oh.
I worked for 3 years from bed. I couldn't stand. I couldn't sit.
Debilitating.
Thank you. Gosh,
Gotcha.
Cut that. Don't let anyone ever see that. Actually, keep it. I love it. So that you're talking about 2013, 2014.
Wow.
For the
just
second to last back surgery.
Physically, just
first back surgery was 2009. So 2009 kind of marks the year where Satan started chipping away little by little. Bro, my ego, my persona, my world, the beliefs that I had ingrained, my physical fitness, it was just through the roof, man. I was obsessed with success. I was obsessed with personal growth. I was obsessed with learning but what was I really trying to do? What was I really doing? I was trying to be God.
Yeah. You also probably were enjoying the accolades and the perception from other people.
Maybe the perception. Yeah. I mean, there was definitely some significant stuff in there for sure.
Yeah.
Right. But the one thing that was different about me from a lot of guys who were in that world, the success system is, I'm going to come up with a better name for it, but they want the awards. They want the, I never even had a sports car. So that wasn't it for me. Like I had a nice car. I always had a 7 Series BMW, but I would just have them like new leases, just send it to me. I was never, and I really enjoyed it and I really appreciated it.
Right.
Right. The pain of not knowing who you are or what you're supposed to be doing. The pain of having gone from loving your work, and I genuinely loved my work. I was also helping a lot of people.
Yeah. Having their own success.
That, and I was even bringing them to Christ. I was doing a lot of stuff, really good.
You felt like I am doing some good stuff
100%, and I was, but maybe not from pure intention.
Right.
Like, and my intention's still not pure, but neither is yours, and neither is anybody's.
Sure.
But I've moved to I'm way closer, right?
You can see it for what it is. There's an awareness to your life now that wasn't there.
Like way more. That pain, having gone from having this like superpower, where everything you do works. You got the Midas touch.
I was going to say the Midas touch.
Everybody's attracted to you, and everybody wants to be around you. And when that all goes away, the pain is so unbearable. Those 5 back surgeries, those 3 years in bed, I would prefer that. I would prefer even, my dream was to be a full-time musician. I had to deal with Atlantic Records. My second back surgery killed that dream. Okay, big deal, because I had other things going on.
What was your specialty in music?
Singer, songwriter, guitar.
Okay.
Yeah. I would prefer that physical pain over this pain. And it's a pain that just about every single successful, I deal with Christian entrepreneurs, but every successful entrepreneur, just about more Christian than anything, right? Because somebody who's a successful Christian, they're also a Christian who is successful in business is probably also successful spiritually, meaning, yeah, he might be checking off all the boxes, but at least he's doing it, right? And most of them are not doing it legalistically. I think they mean well, right? You're going to be miserable. If not now, then at some point, right?
And in this dark period, you were in physical discomfort.
That pain finally, I finally got a back surgery that worked. And to your point, what you're saying, the physical fitness part of my life, dude, my diet and exercise routine was so hardcore. Like, I didn't have a molecule of dairy or gluten in my body I remember at one time that was my diet for 5 years straight. Vigilance. Like, I think my supplements were about $2,000 a month. Blood work quarterly, like $5,000 panels or whatever the heck they were. Food allergy panels all the time. Everything I did big. And that's why when I fell spectacularly. Right. Absolutely, positively spectacularly, to the point where I lost my wife, kids, mansions, other houses, reputation. I had a really good reputation. I had to lose that reputation in order to be humbled enough for God to do anything sustainable with me. Right.
Was there addiction involved in this?
Yeah, I was addicted to prescription Adderall.
Initially that you were taking because?
ADD.
Okay.
And initially for a
But were you taking other things that were pain-related drugs for your back?
That was never an issue for me.
So this is more about just taking Adderall just to keep you,
but
let's go.
Yes, but then at a certain point, things were just so horrible. Like, I just could not take it anymore. Wow. That I started abusing it. Yeah. I started taking a little bit extra because it made me happy.
Wow. Just covering up.
I didn't know what else to do, man. Like, I didn't know what else to do. Wow. And it was just a downward spiral. And so, yeah, man, I lost everything.
So it took several years, it sounds like, for it to get to that point.
And then several years afterwards. Yeah. For me to finally come to my senses.
Wow.
It was a solid 7 to 10 years.
Wow.
Of
falling, of hitting the bottom, and starting to climb back.
A solid
out.
7 to 10 years. I literally kind of lost my mind. Like, it was a King Nebuchadnezzar moment. Wow. The Lord even confirmed that to me. Every once in a while, I'll just flip the Bible open to see where it lands. Mm-hmm. It would land it on the story of King Nebuchadnezzar so many times. It's just not even funny.
Yeah. Daniel,
yeah.
I mean, and in other spots, but I actually read Daniel not that long ago.
King Nebuchadnezzar, he was proud. Oh, yeah. He looked over his kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
Comeback Kings. That's my brand. I actually live over UT, which looks like a castle.
Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, University of Tampa is beautiful. It's very interesting looking campus.
Looks like a castle, man. Yeah. That's how it's part of the reason. That's part of how God confirmed to me my brand, my life's mission.
And you reside in downtown Tampa, don't you? Okay. Yeah. Very cool. I point that way because that's where it is.
Yeah, it's over there.
From where we are, people are like, why are you pointing?
King Nebuchadnezzar looked over his kingdom and said, look at this kingdom I built.
Yeah.
Right? And most high-performing entrepreneurs are looking over their businesses. Look at these businesses I built. If God loves you, he's going to rip them down. Or rip you down. Or both. You know.
And it doesn't mean, I think there's
so God took his mind, not to cut you off, but he took his sanity, drove him out into the wilderness for 7 years.
Yeah, I remember.
Now, I remember reading that and thinking to myself, you know what? I'm pretty sure that's me right this moment. You know? And what do you know? Like 7 years later, I've come to my senses, and it took about a year of doing what I now take men through, which is this process of building a personal brand in order to find your purpose, build back your confidence, your self-esteem, basically build your personal brand in order to rebuild yourself.
And not to make, also don't want to make success necessarily the bad guy. It's okay to want to achieve. It's okay to want to get to another level, attain a new level.
For the right reason, yes.
What's the reason?
To glorify God.
Right.
And I can promise you that is approximately 0.01% of all Christians' motivation.
I'm sure. Yeah.
You know, it's definitely not currently my 100% motivation.
Right. Of course.
You know, but I want it to be. I'm praying for it to be. You know, I'm definitely more at the spot where, like, God, whatever you want Comeback Kings to be, whatever sort of life I'm supposed to live, however much stuff I'm supposed to have or not have, like, let's go with that.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I'm glad that you've had this clarity and that you are living in a place of purpose that's not predicated on more. It's more about how many people can I serve.
Yeah.
And, you know, our core values, I think I shared those with you. We have 7 core values at Critical Bench, and they're passion, integrity, gratitude, service, positive attitude, decisiveness, and faith. And we have a definition for each of those and how they come together very nicely, fit together. And in fact, when we came up with those core values, it was the same day that we came up with our mantra, Strong by Design. This is years before the podcast started. So this would have been probably 2016-ish. And about 2 years later, the podcast started. And we're like, well, dude, I think we know what the name of the podcast is going to be. That's easy. Made in God's image to have a strong body, mind, and spirit. And that's why we have conversations like this, because we're typically tapping into one, if not several, of what those core values are and how and there's other words that you could use in place of some of the ones that we picked. But overall, what's the theme of those things, right? The theme of those is mostly biblical.
Yeah.
So that we're standing on the word in all of our decision making in the business. When whatever we're going to create, whatever we're going to promote, whatever we're going to do this project or work with that person. So when it comes to relationships, we have a filter mechanism. Does it align with our 7 core values?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, it's not going to fit. It's not going to work. Same thing with who we hire and who we fire. We have a very kind of grueling hiring process for our small company. We don't have 20 some odd people that work for our company in the building, but externally, virtually. And we have them jump through hoops because you're going to catch people if they're not aligning with those core values. Slow to hire, fast to fire, right, in life. That's how we have to be, I think, with all our decisions, with who we connect with, who do we socialize with.
Yeah.
Don't make somebody your best friend after day one.
Yeah. I make decisions much slower now.
Get to know. Yeah.
I used to make very fast
decisions. And they're rash. That's why it's rash decision making, and most of us operate that way because of the fast pace of life.
Not anymore. When you take a hit at midlife, and if you come out the other side, and a community of mentors that's how you make it through this.
Yeah.
You move much more slow. Everything goes way slower. I feel like I'm in a freaking slow motion machine.
Well, and you see things for what they are a bit better. Right? It's like you have your Jesus glasses on or something, or it makes things clearer for sure. You see superficiality much easier. I'm sure you were exposed to it and saw a lot, but overlooked it or didn't care or didn't even recognize it. But now when it's there, I think you probably spot it pretty quick and be like, you're not telling me everything, or I don't know if you're the right person for this or whatever, right? I mean, it's just, I am about as real a person as it gets because I don't hold back from things I feel, things I think. I'm like my mom.
Yeah.
You know exactly what I'm feeling in the moment because I'm just going to tell you.
Yeah.
Or you can see it. I can't hide it. And I think it's a very healthy way to live, but I think most of us don't live that way.
Yeah.
We have that mask, that facade that we operate in. And
I got to rewind to hit a couple of things you asked me that I got
Sure.
sidetracked on.
No, that's okay.
You asked me about health and fitness and whatnot. I don't know how I got sidetracked.
Well, you started to allude to that your diet and your exercise became like
a god.
Yeah.
All right. Well, once again, God brings good out of that. I went into this season. Everything that you do, you got two basic seasons in life. You've got your first half and your second half, right? And then in the middle, at halftime, is hell, right? And you're either going to make it with your heart intact, with your heart still alive, with desire still burning to this second half, or you're going to just get burned up and just slow
coast, fade,
coast through life, or like is becoming more and more common. You're just going to end it all, which for men the numbers are going.
Yeah, so I guess there's three things that can happen.
Three options. Everything you do in the first half of life is your supply bag. It's your energy packet to make it through Hell Week. Or now that I'm kind of seeing this, I'm like, okay, I could actually maybe turn this into like an actual. You've got like this Hell Week to get over to get to the promised land, right? You've got the wilderness, right? You've been in Egypt, right? Egypt is works. I do good to get good.
Or Rome.
Right? The wilderness is I go around in circles doing my best to follow God. I have no idea what's going on and everything is just horrible. That's the wilderness. Yeah. So I'm trying to use a biblical analogy here, which is just now coming to me. Definitely takeaway number 2. And then the promised land is where I'm slowly moving my way into, which is where instead of Egypt, do good to get good, right? You are just good, right? Instead of stressing, striving, grasping, grinding, you are just receiving and resting and trusting. Instead of leading, you are following. It is a much more peaceful way to live.
Yeah.
The world does not celebrate it. It looks weak, which is why most men, they have no desire to go there. And it doesn't even matter that peace, the peace they're actually really wanting, kind of, is waiting for them there.
Yeah.
The world system is set up to make men who move into the spiritual dimension of their life look weak. Women do not want their men over here. They don't. They celebrate the guy who's dominating in Egypt. That's what's celebrated.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the system that I have unplugged from and dropped out of.
Yeah.
And I'm over here trying to tell both people who are in that Hell Week, keep going, man. Just, trying to give some guidance, some structure, a frame of reference to even know what the heck it is that's going. That they don't know. They don't know what's happening. I didn't know what was happening to me. All the rules changed. All the rules of the game changed in the wilderness. Right?
Yeah, the compass didn't work quite the same.
It's so disorienting. You don't know up from down. What used to work doesn't work. It's like you have to be dismantled in order for God to reveal your true nature in Jesus Christ. That's the goal of life. We are here to be conformed to the image of Jesus Christ. That's why you're alive. You're not alive to get a bunch of nice stuff and party. Right. That's not what this world's all about. You're delusional. You're freaking psychotic if that's what you think. Yeah. You're literally living in La La Land. People in heaven are laughing at you.
I believe it.
The same way, if you came out of like the club scene,
right,
and you look back at those pictures of you at the club, and with your tongue out and you're partying, and you like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, look how stupid look at what a wretch I was. Look at how lost. Okay, well, you got the Rolls Royce, the mansion, and the freaking driving around, flying around, thinking you're something. That's worse. That's worse. You're 100 times more lost than the dude at the club. I feel bad for you.
At least, usually, the dude at the club.
And you're weak.
There's a youth element attached to that, which you're still discovering yourself. You're not even a grown adult yet.
Solomon and Ecclesiastes, he gave you an out. Enjoy that when you're young.
Yeah.
It's not gonna last long.
Right. Yeah, if you're still doing that in your 30s,
bro.
Let's go. Grow up.
The guys online who are putting men down and man up and just the cars and the houses. I mean, I kind of used to do that a little bit, but just not how it's like the Andrew Tate type of stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Man, like honestly, to me, those are the weakest dudes on the face of this planet.
Well, it's all about them. Yeah, it's
just weak.
That selfish existence.
It's like, it's laughable to me.
Look at me. Look how cool I am. Don't you want to be me?
Would you rather be a caricature of a character, or would you rather be a character? Would you rather have actual character? These men who are online just calling men freaking. Am I allowed to use bad words? I don't know.
You can use
You're
those.
a pussy. You're a pussy. Man up. You suck. What are you doing?
Right.
Freaking. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I hear you. That stuff turns me off very quickly because I see it for what it is. It's just an act. It's the way you're marketing yourself. You're trying to sell your thing. You're tough. Don't you want to be tough like me? Don't you want to be a real man? All that stuff. A real man. If I want to see a real man, I open up my Bible right on my desk,
or try to find his God's.
Jesus died with nothing. He had the clothes on his back. That was it. But he had everything. I mean.
But he took a serious beatdown for us.
Yeah, he did.
And so that's what that's what we do. To serve other people, that's another way of saying dying for them.
Yeah.
Every time we serve somebody, that's a piece of our life that we don't get to have. Except for we do, because it comes back to us times
it's funny,
like a million, right?
I think people, we've referenced a few times 100, 200 years ago, I think conversations were probably much more open to talking about biblical things, stories, experiences. What can we learn from that parable? And then since they started ripping and pulling, extinguishing God from everything for the last 100+ years, those conversations became fewer and more uncomfortable. And until just maybe in the last 5 years or so, there's been this kind of resurgence of people finally being willing.
That's right.
To talk about
Jesus. Starting on social media, ironically.
It did, yeah. But it's refreshing to see that people are being bold.
Yeah.
And, we've been bold since 2018, being willing to talk about things that make some people uncomfortable. And we're not looking for millions of downloads on this podcast. We're looking to serve people in a way and give back to people in a way and have a ministry attached to our business that we weren't able to do with our products and programming on the fitness and health side. But we felt like there's more. Like we wanted this podcast, and this podcast has largely been a real big, more of a spiritual side of the business than anything else. Albeit we have fitness conversations, we have holistic health stuff that has nothing to do with faith.
We're gonna have to circle back to the physical fitness thing
again.
I haven't said it yet.
Okay, we'll close. This will easily be part 2. We're in part 2 for sure. But
okay, so
no, go ahead. Tell me more about the physical fitness.
This is for. I know that your audience.
You got to close the loop.
Okay. Yes,
I got you.
I do, but also I know that your audience is into physical fitness, and
they
this
are
is one of the most important things. I came close to death a number of times. If I would not have gone into my season, and you never know when your card is going to get pulled. You never know. God brings all his sons through the dark nights of the soul, through trial by fire, through the valley of the shadow of death. It's just a matter of time, right? Mm-hmm. It's like Pilgrim's Progress, right? Suffering and then some respite and then back on the trail. The pit of despair. Mm-hmm. And then it's just a matter of how intense is it going to be? Well, you never know when it's your time. And so while you're on the mountaintop, prepare, right? Save your money. Get physically fit, right? Memorize the Bible so that you go into that thing as strong as it gets, right? If I had not been as healthy and strong as I was, if I had not had as much scripture memorized as I did to be able to just recite it over and over in the darkest nights that I had, I would be dead.
Wow.
I would be dead because, dude, there was years where, I was homeless for all intents and purposes. I was living on the floor of my friend's vacant home. That's how much I lost. I didn't have a dime.
Wow.
I had no transportation. I went from a mansion and private jets to nothing, literally. I didn't even know I'd lost my mind. I was manic. Nobody told me. I didn't know.
Wow.
Lost everything. Lost my reputation. Comeback Kings came about because my friend who owned that vacant home, who let me sleep on the floor, owned a Christian collab co-working space where everybody, they were kind of doing Bible studies like we're doing at Comeback Kings. They were all helping each other build each other's brands like we're doing at Comeback Kings virtually. And they were all supporting each other get through. It's just like, I might as well hit the lottery for a what do you call it? Rock bottom moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's another thing. Your social capital going into this, everything that you've built up that first half of your life, man, all the money that you give to the kingdom, to other people, all the service that you give to other people. I took such good care of people that first half. That is what will get you through Hell Week. That's what will get you through the wilderness into the promised land. The amount that you give, the amount that you grow, and God's a big fan of growth. It's just the problem is when we are doing the whole personal growth thing, our pride comes along for that ride.
Of course. And
so the wilderness is all about stripping that pride off so that the good part of the growth can keep going.
Right.
Right? But man, I went a year eating freaking donuts and pizza, dude, like at a 7-Eleven, because that's all I could really get because it was right next to the collab. And
so you were just penniless, jobless?
Well, I had a job there. But that's the first job I had, making practically nothing.
Yeah.
It was the first job I had for 25 years.
Wow.
I was an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur. For me to work for another man,
right?
It's like God humbled me in every way. That everything that I held in contempt going into that, God made me do it. I held realtors in contempt. I was in the real estate world, investor. He made me become a realtor. I held, just go down the list. I had to do it all.
Right.
I ended up having to run one of my fitness centers that I owned, which I'd never even seen. I didn't even know where it was. I had somebody else running it. And that, as things were declining, it's interesting how life will kind of mirror what's going on in your life. You'll watch other people declining. Pay attention to everyone in your world. If you start to see everybody kind of on the decline, if bad things are kind of happening to everybody, take a look in the mirror. When I'm doing good, everyone around me flourishes. I watch it happen. I'm paying attention. Start paying attention, man. Like, pay attention to your life, study people, right? So you can act in accordance with nature, with truth, with reality, in a way that makes things better for you and other people. Man, oddly enough, the one of the partners in my fitness center, she started like having mental problems herself. I think it may have, well, let me not get into that. I found out she hadn't been showing up to the gym. So I had to go out there for the first time ever, work at a physical location. And I remember, and this is
when you still owned it.
When I still owned it, but that was one of the things I held in contempt. Franchise owner operators.
Right.
I was the investor. I was the passive investor.
I'm better than that.
That's right.
Okay.
Until it was me on the floor, on my knees, plunging the toilet and I thought that was my rock bottom. I'm like, okay, God, this has got to be rock bottom. Please tell me. No, dude, that's before I was homeless. That's me with instead of an 8,000 square foot house, was it a 4,500 square foot house? And instead of these, it was just a slow downgrade.
Yeah.
Until and guess how many times God's gonna freaking downgrade you if He's got a plan for your life that in the grand scheme of things you're gonna move along with.
He was helping you upgrade for a long time.
That's correct.
Theoretically, right?
He's in charge of all this stuff. He's in control of all this stuff. I owe my success to Him, and I am grateful for Him orchestrating my failure. Or just facilitating it and giving me a soft landing, as it were, because it could have been a whole lot freaking worse, man.
Right.
There were automobile accidents involved. There was life or death situations, all of which I walked out of without a scratch.
Yeah, a lot of things not going your way over a period of years. Any one of them could have taken you out completely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
God is going to keep removing things until you freaking tap out, man. Ultimately, He's in control of when you tap out. And by tap out, I mean surrender.
Right.
Enough is enough. I'm done. Wave the white flag and realize the truth. And what's the truth? You are not in control. You never were. You are not. You never will be. God is. And until we get that right, nothing's going to make sense. Everything's going to be frustrating. And anger is going to be a constant thing because we want this, but we got something blocking it, right? You got to just let go, And if I had to guess where I'm headed, I mean, my life it's already better than it ever was. Just not in a worldly sense.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot to be said for a simple life. And
it's interesting you said that.
Yeah, because we want our lives to be big and bold and amazing and jaw-dropping to other people.
The pressure is unbearable.
It's unbearable.
That's why the self-help industry exists. Yeah. Is to make that whole freaking.
But they create their own problem.
Yeah, it's
in a lot of ways.
It's a very hard way to live.
All the mantras and all the this, that, and the other.
Dude.
I mean, you can get caught up in that world.
You can get caught up in the church success system.
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who've gone to every Tony Robbins event and every this event and every that event. And, and I want to be around these people and I get to be around those people. And I've spent thousands and tens of thousands of dollars. And where are you? Where are you in your life? How has it made your life better?
Yeah, and I don't even care where you are, if that's good or bad. It's irrelevant. Whose are you, and what are you doing it for?
Right. Yeah.
Right. When I saw that Tony Robbins
I'm not saying
documentary,
anything. I'm
neither
not,
am I. But
I
I don't
want to
care.
bash him.
Yeah, it's not about that.
He's done some great things, but
Yeah. I saw that Tony Robbins documentary. You know what I'm talking? You know what I'm saying? I think it's called A Date with Destiny.
oh, okay.
And at the very end,
yeah, I think I
everybody's
saw part
at the
of
very end, everybody's like high-fiving
Yeah.
and hugging.
Yeah.
And all I saw was despair. All I saw was hopelessness, emptiness, because it's not based on anything real. Right? Anything not done for Christ will not last.
Right.
Only that which is done for Christ will last.
Right.
All right. So the question is, what is your real why?
Yeah.
What are you doing? What you're doing for? Right? Do all that you do, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do,
Do for the glory of God.
do it for the glory of God. Yeah. That includes work. That includes succeed. That includes everything. Right?
Yeah. It's good. Obviously we've talked about a lot. We've been kind of all around the map of your life of the last 25 plus years. And, there's a lot to get out of the things that we've hit on here. I think ultimately it's reflection that everyone needs to devote some time to thinking, to what you're finding purpose in, and to where you're finding your identity.
That's it.
And who are the people in your life that are holding you accountable, or and if you don't have those people, then you need to find them.
Hit me on Instagram.
Exactly.
Is what you need to do.
Come back, Kings.
Yeah.
But stripping away rather than adding in sounds like a really good thing. I think most of us need to strip away some things so that we can hear his voice, that we can be in the Word, that we can have room for him, make room for him. We've done a great job of making time and making room for all these other things that we think are so important that aren't. And I think you don't really have these aha moments or these light going on moments until you get to that midlife time.
Or just some sort of crisis.
Or some sort of crisis.
Yeah.
But I think it does happen in those later 40s or 50.
There's a big one waiting for you there.
Yeah, I think so too. And it can be smaller for some of us, depending on what mountain we've decided to climb in life.
Agreed.
Or some mountaintops are not as high.
And how many talents God gave you.
Yeah, exactly right.
And talents not by talent, but by
course.
what he's given you, to steward in life, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you referenced it at some point, I think it was at Romans 9, where he's talking about, Paul's talking about the Claymaker. And who are we as the clay to question the Claymaker, what he's doing with the clay?
I didn't reference that, but I love Romans 9. I know what you're talking about.
Okay. We as God's creation, who are we to argue or debate with him what he's molding us to be? Some clay is used for noble uses and some for common uses, but they all still matter. And
Agreed.
It looks different across the board, and it's okay. Some of us are meant for bigger things, and some of us less things, but it doesn't make it any less of a important or valuable.
I agree 100%. Everything used to always have to be big for me.
Yeah, right.
It had to be the absolute.
Had to be the biggest, the best, the most expensive, the nicest, the most glamorous, the jaw drop moment, right? Yeah.
Well, and for me, I had like an extra dose of that.
Right. Yeah,
right now, you know what I want?
What do you want? Food. We're going to go eat.
That's fine.
Oh, well, I'll pray us out too.
I just want to, I want a stable life for my daughters that they respect. As far as my personal,
it's a good thing to want.
As far as my personal, I also want to help everybody in Comeback Kings and whatever. But as far as what do I want for me, and maybe a 7 Series BMW again.
And that's okay.
That's
You know
okay
what?
because it used to be a Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
I don't need that anymore.
Yeah, no. I know what you mean. And it's okay to want some nice things.
I've always appreciated beautiful things.
Yeah, sure.
But for me, it was only 2 things that was really a big deal.
Right.
I always liked to have a nice home
Yeah.
and a nice car. And I truly enjoyed it.
Sure.
This was before I wasn't even showing people pictures of it.
But seeing it for what it is,
Yes.
is different.
When I lost it,
Yeah.
I honestly didn't care. I might have cared for a month. The first one. Losing the second one, I cared a little bit more. Okay, let's not get into it. Let's not get into it.
But I like that. You've said a lot of important things, certainly. And I know our listeners have gotten something out of this. And hopefully there's some reflection that comes from it and some evaluation that's necessary for all of us in life.
Material things aren't bad. Let's put a caveat on this.
No.
Material things
when they
are not
become
bad.
idols.
That's right. It's a matter of identity. Who are you without those things?
That's right.
And are you waking up every day trying? Is your goal to get those things? That's the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is not nice stuff. God's probably going to, if I already have nice stuff,
Right.
the condo I'm in would probably sell for around $2 million right now. Nothing wrong with it.
No.
Right? God gave me a great deal on it, an incredibly good deal. It's an issue of identity. It's when materialism, consumerism, meism comes into play. That's when you have a problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
God made Rolls Royces.
That's right.
I don't know. What do you do with that?
What do you do with that? He made a car that looks pretty cool and the door opens the opposite way. What are you going to do? It's, I've only sat in a few. I've never owned one. Well, no, this has been great, Preston. We really appreciate you coming here and kind of just emptying yourself, revealing yourself and learning from your experiences. Hopefully someone else listening doesn't have to make some of those. They can catch themselves. They don't have to let it get to that rock bottom moment where they're losing family or they're losing children or they're losing their homes. I mean, ultimately, that's what
if you
what
are
we're
hurting,
trying to do. Yeah,
reach out. There's things that can be put in place to mitigate absolutely everything.
What's the best way for people to reach out to you?
My Instagram, Preston Ely.
Preston Ely.
That's it.
That's it, baby. PrestonEly.
Everything. I don't do funnels anymore, bro.
Okay.
I don't do funnels. I don't do. I was one of the.
Yeah.
I was a good marketer.
I believe you.
I've made a funnel or two in my day. I'm trying to.
I believe
my ego wants to just.
No, it's okay.
It wants to spit out all my.
Your ego needs to go eat. We're gonna go get a bite to eat together. Okay. I think
everything I do now is one-on-one. It's talking to people.
Yeah.
One-on-one.
That's great.
If you need help,
so they come directly to you,
and we will have a conversation.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Love it.
Thanks for having me, man.
Of
I
course.
appreciate it.
Oh, it's been a pleasure, man.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you tuning into the Strong by Design podcast. I'm going to close us in prayer because I didn't open us in prayer.
Yeah,
that's why.
That's why we go a little bit. I knew something, and I knew it was the prayer.
Something was off. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this time today. We thank you for our listeners. We hope that our words and sharing our experiences is a benefit to you and that you're able to make those decisions that prevent you from the loss or the some of the misfortune or missteps that Preston has made, that you're able to use these experiences that he shared today on today's episode to make adjustments in your life, to surround yourself with people that you trust, that'll hold you accountable and move you in a direction to finding your true purpose and your true identity. And we just thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. We'll see you next time on the Strong by Design podcast. Later. Thank you so much for listening to the Strong by Design podcast. If you found value in today's episode, please subscribe so that more people can find out about our show. Plus, you don't want to miss any future episodes with the amazing guests and topics we have lined up for you.